If you watch the news lately, or if you're on social media for any amount of time, I think all of us can agree that things have been pretty crazy, and for a good reason, because you see, there's a whole bunch of people that are calling what is evil good and what is good evil, and you are almost kind of in this weird space where you're thinking, am I the one who's going crazy, or do we just live in a crazy world? Well, rest assured, it's not just you thinking that. A lot of us are thinking the exactly same thing. And I think a lot more people are waking up to understand that the government is pushing a political agenda disguised as a we're protecting you from the virus type of thing. Now, of course, when this whole virus started, well, it was a real threat, and a lot of churches in good faith have closed down their doors because we didn't know how deadly this virus was. And we tried to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. But now we realize that we've been lied to. We've been lied about masks. You know, when April hit and I actually was sick and I pretended like I had the virus because I didn't know if I had the virus or not. And I was wearing a mask and I was called out and shamed because I was taking away the masks from healthcare workers. And I was shamed for wearing a mask. Nowadays, you are shamed for not wearing a mask. So they lied to us about masks, and then they lied to us about numbers, and they told us that all we have to do is just flatten the curve. Remember that? Where we want to make sure that we're part of the solution by not overwhelming our healthcare system. But after 3 weeks and 4 weeks and a couple months, and now 5 or 6 months into it, we realize that this is no longer about protecting us. This is about taking away our rights and using this pandemic as a farce for that. Now, a lot more churches are realizing this, and one of the churches that I want to kind of mention today is Grace Community Church in California. As you know, in California, you are mandated by the government to shut down your church and not be able to sing in the church or anything like that because that's going to spread the coronavirus. So you're okay with abortion clinics being open. You're okay with liquor stores being open. You're okay with, pot dispensaries to be open. I mean, how many people has, alcohol killed? Nobody's talking about that. But if you go to church now, you can't do that because that's going to spread COVID. So I think more and more people are realizing that this is crazy and this is stupid, and the government has no right or authority to impose its will on the church or to tell the church how to run its services. And I love the fact that a lot of churches are waking up to this. And one of these churches is Grace Community Church in California, led by John MacArthur. And they wrote a blog called Christ, Not Caesar, is the Head of the Church. And in this blog, they respond to the state and they say this: in response to the recent state order requiring churches in California to limit or suspend all meetings indefinitely, we, the pastors and elders of Grace Community Church, respectfully inform our civic leaders that they have exceeded their legitimate jurisdiction, and faithfulness to Christ prohibits us from observing the restrictions they want to impose on our corporate worship services. And here you have a church that's saying, look, I'm not going to put up with that. And I think more pastors and churches should start speaking against this mandate of the government to shut down churches while they allow rioting in the streets. Now, a lot of government officials will claim that all of this that they do to prevent us from meeting in the church and so on is because they are acting in the best interest of the common good of everyone. But they use this excuse for pretty much everything. Every single policy they pass is in the common good of everyone. They'll take away your Second Amendment because it's in the common good of everyone. They will allow abortions and they will actually promote abortions because it's in the common good of women, even though they don't take in consideration the women who will never be born because of them being murdered in the womb. So no, I disagree when the government says this is the common good of everyone. I think at the end of the day, we have physical needs, so we go to the grocery stores because we have physical needs like food, but we also have spiritual needs. So government needs to get out of the business of telling us what's essential and what's not essential, because my spiritual life is the most essential thing that is about me. And, we are so scared about COVID killing us, but I think what's even worse is dying without knowing Jesus. So yes, I do think the church is very essential. And when a government official tells us that it's not, I'm sorry, you're not my moral compass. And of course, the Bible makes it very clear that we should respect and try to obey the rules that the government makes. But when those rules exceed their authority, then we have to obey Christ, not the government. So I hope that encourages you to know that you're not alone in thinking this. And if you have questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Just post them in the comment section below and I will try to reply. And with that, thank you so much for watching this video and God bless.